the mechanical is, they tell technologies is evergreen, but the thing is, after inculcating the different kind of technologies, different kind of engineering concepts in this, then it can be used like very productive manner. So that way, before we used to have this, for example, mechanical governance. For example, which every mechanical engineer knows about the how the fuel regulates in the mechanical engines, like IC engines. So governors we used to use. But as soon as the microprocessor based chips and all systems inculcated in these governors, the efficiency of the engine increases. So this I got to know from this Indian Railways. And coming to this now, currently what is happening in the ISRO. ISRO material technology. Okay, like we mechanical engineers will study everything. Ranging from material science, energy engineering, industrial engineering. Okay, sometimes we study about this coding also. So okay, but the thing is, because that is how it is. So surely we need some other branch help so that we have to evolve. And one material technology is playing a pivot role in the space exploration, because as soon as you make these lightweight materials, then your payload capacity will increase, as well as the cost per payload will also, per kg of payload also will decrease. So that way, materials also playing the material technology is also playing very important role in this, the evolution of this space exploration and all.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is to Pramod, sir. Collaboration between industry and academia is vital. How do you envision fostering strong partnership to bridge the gap between classroom learning and industrial needs?
See, classroom learning has not happened. Your curriculum and the way it is being taught has been happening for years together. Okay, so if you want that to change, say per se, with whatever the trend is currently happening, it would be impossible for them to run a curriculum. Because every 6 months, as they say, a new set comes, you can't change the curriculum for the next year, you can't keep on changing that. So as we, in the previous discussion, we said, the groundworks is what we are still concentrating on. So your basic coding language, your basic sensibility about learning the code, your ability to write a code to derive an exciting output, that is what is coming in your 4 years of learning actually, in which probably you will have to take 5 to 10% of your running time apart from the college emphasizing you to go and learn what they have taught. There are 100 mediums wherein which you can pick and choose and go and learn. Forget the industry, because I mean, when I say industry, I'm saying like manufacturing industry or retail industry. Okay, so go and learn the current technology or the areas which might emphasize much more importance in helping that industry achieving what I'm trying to say is, they are teaching you Java here. When does that start? 4th year, 3rd year? 2nd year. Okay, 3 years they are teaching you Java. No offense to anybody sitting here, but the time you come out, you attend an interview, it becomes very hard for you to even crack an interview. Probably 10 or 20% of the crowd will be able to write a wonderful code. So what is the point in going and teaching you 50 other things which you should be doing when your base primary Python, Java, whatever those coding languages are still relevant in developing technologies today also. So in your 4 years, I'm not saying don't go and learn anything else, predominantly you should stick with the curriculum, knowing it better, understanding it better. When do they start math? First standard, second standard? Now, if you don't learn addition, multiplication, subtraction and division, algebra came in between. So in first standard I started learning algebra also, because anyways that is also math. It doesn't make sense. Evolution you keep your basics right in the 4 years. Do that 10-20% of your time, spend your extra effort to go and understand it from the internet. Industry orientation has no effect with technology actually. So I use the same technology, I mean same in the sense not, I use the same group of technology in any industry. So today, for example, we are a Salesforce partner. We have done over 80 projects. Trust me, no two projects are the same, or no two projects are for the same industry. So I have implemented Salesforce for a shoe manufacturing company, for a sweet shop, for a mining company, for a healthcare company. Pretty much the industry's requirement would be sales, service, marketing, and now currently data-driven future. Okay, so for all the industries, the thumb rule would be those things. Your technology would be required to support your basic. Here, what you have to learn is your basics. You should be very clear about that by the time you come. If you have enough amount of time to learn, there's a lot of other things which might help you on the. So there's no point in going and changing the curriculum. I'm not to it actually. Let's group a lot of teachers and say, okay, next year no, we'll add 14 other things because this is trending in the industry. We can't do that. That doesn't mean that unless and otherwise Java or Python or any core business core coding language is going to be redundant, nobody is using it, then okay, we'll take it out of the process and then we'll add something new. But otherwise, the curriculum should pretty much remain the same. With somebody who's interested in AI has a separate course now, which can help them to go and learn. Otherwise, if you're taking a basic course, stick with basics, be clear on the basics. You can learn anything in between. Like for example, if you take Salesforce, your second year when you're starting your coding, by the end of second year, you can go into the Salesforce site, they give you free training. By the time you come out in 4 years, you have 4 years of your basic education, 2 years of your Salesforce education. I would be happy to hire you if you have a certificate from Salesforce. Okay, so, but I wouldn't say that scrap the curriculum and go into learning only Salesforce as a methodology because it keeps on changing. So I can't. Curriculum is a base. We can't change that actually. You can add a little bit there and here based on whatever the changes are. I hope I answered the question.
Does any other panelist would want to add to that?
I think the way I look at classroom curriculum is not, I think the expectation setting is wrong, okay? As a student, classroom curriculum is not designed to make you operate in the industry just when you get out of the college. Classroom curriculum is designed to groom you to the fundamentals and basic concepts, right? The most important thing which is applicable in the industry and where people succeed is problem solving. Like, very simple. Every aspect, every subject which you read or study tries to build problem solving for you, right? Problem solving is basically ability to see a problem. In India it is called jugaad, right? The home word for it is jugaad, okay? Once you see the problem, how do you break it down? How do you understand it? Once you break it down, you figure out what are the steps to solve it, and then you provide a solution, right? That's problem solving. Now all these subjects which you study in engineering, I recall, I might not have remember all the subjects which I've studied in engineering, but at times we do look at those fundamentals back, oh, I've studied this in college, oh, this was taught. So it's not like that's completely disassociated. Some point in the life when you're operating as an engineer or someone, those fundamentals come in, right? But they're always designed to build you, establish a foundation for you, not to say that, hey, day one out of the college, you're going to be ready and be able to do a certain job. That will require additional training and these things, which is very subjective to the industry or the company you're going in, right? Every company, every organization has their own way of operating and learning, right? The technologies which will keep on evolving, but the fundamentals would always remain same. So the classroom learning is designed for fundamentals, and if you focus on that, you will have very strong fundamentals which is going to help you in longer. That doesn't mean that you have to always have a higher CGPA, just to be clear, right? Even at the lower CGPAs, your fundamentals can be good. So,
curriculum in the sense, yeah, whatever the sirs has told, these fundamental concepts and all. But the thing is, as soon as you should be ready to, as soon as you come out from the college, you should be ready regarding industry oriented. Then I think college, in college also, the collaboration with industries may like play a pivot role in the career of the students. For example, there are many teams that is happening in the SRM, like regarding this camera racing, and enigmatic loader. These teams are there. So which whatever the concepts you are learning in the college or classroom, so that you are trying to apply in the your mechanical workshop. So I think this way the college curriculum also it is improving and or improving exponentially as soon as the student come out of from the college in their career.
Just only one line I would like to add. I think our university tagline itself says it all. Done, leap and lead. We should clap for that. Because in starting, whatever we are learning, we should adopt that and then we should lead accordingly. So it says it all.
No, I don't have anything to add. I think they covered.
The next question is for Vipin sir. You have to pick up the mic again. Can you share any experiences or challenges you faced in bridging the gap between technological innovation and practical implementation in the industries with safety and environmental standards?
Yeah, that is a very nice question, I think. How many chemical engineers are here? Hands up, please. Not any single one, okay. Because basically I'm a chemical engineer, so already I explained something about that processing. So in starting, what happens, whatever grade of uranium, I will just give the example of that one only. We are having in India, that used to be very less, as I already told, 0.03% only. Whereas if you will say the grade of other countries like Russia or Kazakhstan, they are having around 23%. Like if 1 kg they will remove it from the ground, underground, around 23% uranium will be there. But if we are removing, that is around 0.03% only. So that is a great scope of research and great scope of modifications over there. So when we were starting that plant, so that recovery was very, very less. That whatever uranium we were trying to extract, that was very, very less. Because there used to be one thickener in the process. In that thickener, what happens, like in water we are adding some additives so that impurities will settle down. In the same way, at the last of the process, we need to do that. We have to add some flocculant chemicals so that whatever uranium will be there, it will settle down in that equipment, and then whatever overflow is there, that will go to further process. So that maximum amount of that uranium particles, it should settle down. But that concentration was very, very less. So we were facing problem. Only that 30% of uranium, it was settling down, and remaining 70% it was going out. So what we did, we used several technologies. Like in starting, we used ion exchange. So ion exchange, it is very much important in the case of acidified leaching, because there that rock characteristics, it used to be different. But in the case of alkali leaching, where that rock is carbonaceous, so we were not able to use that ion exchange because salt concentration was very much high. It was blocking that resins of that ion exchange column. So then we went for nanofiltration. There was huge havoc about nanofiltration. Okay, we tried that one also. So what happens, that nanotube membranes, whatever were there, it was blocking. It was also coagulating over there in that surface. So it was also not successful. Then we went for the candle filtration. Again, that one filtration unit we procured, and then again we did some trials. Again, it was not successful. But we did not thought that, okay, just continued. We continued with the help of Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Some scientists came from nuclear fuel complex also. So in that way, that research was continuously going on. And finally, that we adopted technology. That final bleed of that uranium, what is generating, that only with the help of one pipeline we are giving in starting of the precipitation circuit. So what happens, that initial concentration, which was very much low, it got increased due to the addition of that final uranium in that circuit. So in that way, that modifications happened, and finally that recovery also got increased. So in that way, I'm just saying that continuously learning is very important. We can be successful due to that one.
Thank Thank you.
And you asked about environmental concerns, na? So that also is very important. As per whatever rules and regulations are there of Pollution Control Board, Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, that all we are following for doing all these process modifications. So that is being done. That is all written and that is all standards. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is to Mr. Lokendra. Google has a strong culture for innovation. Can you provide an example of any project that you have worked on and has made a notable impact on innovation?
Yeah, I think I'm not allowed to speak about projects, but yeah, we can talk about the impact that it makes across industry. So we work on systems which enables industries and organizations around the world to make decisions. So I work on Looker. It's a business intelligence tool which multiple companies, big companies, or almost all big companies uses it to analyze data and make good decisions. And my contribution is to manage those systems, which I mean like millions of cores and then millions of terabytes of RAM to manage them efficiently across the globe and make sure things are great and working as efficient as they can.
Thank you, sir.
The next question is for Ashutosh sir. Collaboration is often the key in tech world. So how has working with different companies and teams shaped your approach to problem solving and software development?
So, it's a good question. I have worked in a lot of companies. Let's say, I'm not sure about others, but I've worked in a couple of companies. I've seen companies grow from 10 to 100, 10 to 200. I've seen companies shrink from 2000 to 0. I was probably the last employee of one of the startups I worked for. So one thing which I've learned is that when you work with different companies, you get to work with different set of people. Fortunately, my biggest the reason I've grown, I believe, is finding good mentors in each of the companies and the kind of people I've worked with. Every company I've worked with, I've engaged different types of people, different people from different backgrounds. Even in college when I was here, Arush played a huge role in kind of helping me grow, good collaborations, learning to work with different people, difficult times, challenges, competitions, little bit of politics, which is okay. There's politics everywhere, so you should learn about that as well. So I believe working in different companies have taught me different aspects. They have helped me in understand, every company had a different business problem statement, so yes, technically they have helped me solve those business problem statements, understand the fundamentals and everything. But collaboration, yes, like I don't think you can grow, anyone can grow in isolation. Sure, you can be an independent contributor, you might not manage people, but you have to always collaborate to succeed. You have to develop those personal, interpersonal communication skills to grow. Otherwise, there's no way around it, right? So fortunately, by working in different companies, because you're forced to talk to different people, it has improved for me. Like earlier when I probably joined college, I used to barely have any friends and used to talk to barely any people. But while working within the college, with different organizations, through my career and the same, collaboration skills have improved. I think that covers your question or something which I missed out.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is, in what ways do you see technology continuing to drive sustainability in the future? What are the emerging technologies that hold the particular promise?
Can you rephrase the question, please?
Sorry, sir. In what ways do you see technology continuing to drive sustainability? How is technology helping in sustainability?
I think, so I feel that we are looking at technology from a very small horizon, okay? Technology evolution has probably started in the last 30 to 40 years, I would say, right? And sustainability is something which has been achieved over the course of centuries and decades, decades and centuries of this thing, right? So we are finding the balance as we grow. A lot of people say that there is global warming. While I agree there is global warming, but I also feel that innovation and advancements is happening at the pace, then I'm sure that as humans we would, I'm very optimistic about the fact that we as humans would innovate enough to find a sustainable way of living and probably reverse some of the things which we have done in the process of doing that technology evolution, right? So every time the technology comes in, anything moves forward, there is always, like, it will cross imbalance, right? Anything you develop, anything you build, it will cause imbalance in the beginning, right? And then over the course of time, it finds a balance and it stabilizes. And so does the technology do, right? Like every evolution or innovation which is happening, the only thing is that we have to always step back and say that, hey, we need to take a step back and try to balance with the sustainability, just not keep on innovating without not caring about the environment. That has to be a thread, a background thread always in the head, that when you're building something, when you're innovating something, that yes, I have to think about the environment. You cannot say that I'm going to think about once I succeed. Then I don't think you will ever be able to find sustainability. So environment has to be always a background key in your innovation.
What was the second part of the question?
Sir, it was how what are the new technologies are coming to promising the process?
What process?
Process to sustainability.
Again, what is sustainability? I mean, what in your meaning, what is sustainability? One good thing I find about these questions is somebody really nice who knows to write a lot of English has written the question. Either everybody is getting what the question is, or nobody is getting what the question is. And probably we talk for the next 5 minutes and they're like wondering, what is this guy talking about and what was the question actually? So if you break down the question into smaller portions, everybody, including me, I'm not. So I want to understand what you mean by sustainability, because this and all, like NDTV, you talk to some great guy who knows, Shashi Tharoor comes and talks a lot of English. Doesn't make sense. I'm trying to answer to make it more reachable to the audience. So that's why I wanted to understand what is your perception about what do you mean sustainability?
So, like as we know, we are having global warming and ozone depletion, all that coming because of the industrial formats and all of that. But with sustainability, we are coming to a greener future, where we use technology for the betterment of environment so that we can provide to the future generation.
Okay, see, this question's dimension is completely different from what he was answering. Okay, I will go with what Salesforce says. Okay, not only Salesforce, all top companies in the world have made it their goal to become net zero, which is like zero carbon footprint. Some have said 2030. I think Google said 2030. Okay, Apple said 2030. Salesforce is telling 2050. So everybody is planning to be not a part of the increasing global warming. And now, how can you reduce it? I don't know how. Zero carbon footprint is a dream actually. But they're doing a lot of other innovative ideas. Where they are doing they're using solar, they're using wind power to generate their own electricity instead of wasting natural resources into it. There is a lot of philanthropy which companies are spending money into. You see Google, you see Salesforce. Salesforce has something called Pledge One, where they're investing a lot of, they call ecopreneurs, like entrepreneurs, ecopreneurs. They fund a lot of people to clean the ocean. They're doing for a lot of massive investment is done from the company. Apart from using technology itself, they're giving back money which they made out of technology to make the environment better. Now, how can you make technology help you sustain from making it from bad to worse? It's completely under the user adoption actually. So today I can say that I can build a technology to understand how much of plastic is being produced and what I can do best to consume it, to not reach a landfill which might be there for the next 100 years. You'll still have this plastic, but it is about usability. So I'm happy that the technology companies are aware of this. At least they have a plan, they have some vision in saying that 2030, 2050 will do this. And they are also spending a lot of money in terms of helping at least their own segments. Salesforce has said that Hawaii will become 100% green in 2030. Okay. I saw the one of the ads by Google, by Apple, where which he talks to that Mother Earth kind of the. Correct. So they had an ad in which one of the actors is a movie actress. So she comes like Mother Earth and she asks, okay, you told so much commitments, what happened? So they keep on telling what all they did to reduce their carbon footprint, and they said the last product which they're going to release is 100% eco-friendly. Companies are investing into it, and behind this, whatever technology is being used is the power to help them to do this actually.
Speaking about nuclear energy, it is always known as very neat and clean energy. If you will compare that 1,500 metric ton of coal, whatever electricity will generate from 1,500 metric ton of coal, it will be same equal as 1 kg of uranium. So that shows. Then when that coal you will use, because India is basically depends on that coal only for the nuclear, for the electricity generations. So whatever fly ash or whatever waste will generate from that coal after processing, that used to be very high. So in that way, I can say that nuclear energy, it is very much neat and clean and sustainable for that environment also. In addition to that one, that presently whatever research we are doing in DAE, what we are doing that we are using CO2, carbon dioxide gas, for one of the process of carbonation in our chemical process. So presently that CO2 we are purchasing from the other companies, that cost in crores. So what we are doing, we are using some boilers also. From that boilers, there is one stack, one chimney. From that chimney, that flue gases, it is going in atmosphere. So presently we are following the rules and regulations of Pollution Control Board, that whatever is the permissible limit is there for that CO2, CO, that we are following. But what we did, that flue gas, whatever is coming out from that chimney or stack, that we took one bleed of that flue gas and we tried to do some test with the help of that process liquor for that carbonation, which we are CO2 we are purchasing from the other companies, and we got some very nice results, because CO2 is present in that flue gas also, which is coming out from the chimney. So it will be very beneficial in future that we no need to purchase CO2 from the other companies which are producers. It will be in cost terms also, it will be very saving, and in that case of environment also, it will be very much beneficial, because that flue gas which is going in atmosphere, it can be again reused in the process.
For sustainability, the companies claim that they are doing less carbon emission, or they'll become a net zero. But in reality, what do? They emit carbon, but they displace it with growing trees somewhere, some other part of the world, or in a different country. What my opinion is, view is to emit less carbon and not just displace it with growing more trees, and focus on environment for greater sustainability. Now, I'm not saying to emit zero carbon. I'm saying put efforts in reducing your emission, and not in my office, I'm not sure, around, you can have my, maybe 500 in my building.
My building. I mean, your building.
I guess I'm not sure.
So to make your company net zero,
Yes.
all of you have to walk and go to office. One point of it.
Yeah.
One point.
This is a way that this can be achieved.
Correct. No, I'm saying.
Yes.
You're saying that instead of doing this, they're doing that. But the point is practicality.
Yes,
Second
I
thing
know.
is electricity for your building. Your building should be like at least have a farm which
Yes.
can do solar farming.
Yes, yes.
And then support it. Any vendor you are procuring should be zero.
Mhm.
Because I went to the net zero class, and finally I understood that it's not possible actually. Because eventually, by the terms and conditions which you put, as bad as like for consumption, if you're eating a carrot which comes from Bangalore.
I understand. I know there is carbon emission. I'm not saying make it zero.
This trend, probably we can't say that everybody should go net zero, but at least, I mean, this is my perception.
Yes.
At least I'm happy that at some other area they're trying to negate it, or they're at least understanding it and trying to slow it down.
Yes.
Because if you see, in the last 100 years is when we have actually started misdoing things. And probably it has a negative impact of what 300 years back if we started doing this, that is the kind of impact. So to undo this, today we can't imagine water without a plastic bottle actually. Probably 30 years back, that was the first time when I saw water being bottled, and I don't know, probably none of you were born at that point of time. It was called Pondicherry mineral water. Okay, and we didn't even understand what this thing is actually, Pondicherry mineral water. So we thought to consume mineral, you had to drink that water. We didn't understand to quench thirst, you drink water. So in this 30 years today, we see so much of landfills with this companies. My stake, I completely am with you. I don't want a future with plastic or with emission, but at least companies have now realized, even if it is a commitment, they are giving a commitment, and somewhere they are liable to show it also. Like everybody, news, media, people, like youngsters are coming and asking. So if I had my company, they are asking me, what have you told you will come clean by 2030? Why have you not done it? At least that part is a good part. But to achieve this target level, we'll have to work like it's a continuous process. It's not a destination.
Yeah, it's not a one-day job to do it.
And it's not a destination also.
Yes, it's a continuous process. I also think, I mean, it's good that they are displacing it. It's really great. I'm not saying don't displace it or it's bad, you're doing a bad job. But I still see some buildings or many buildings of offices where roof is open, still open. I mean, there's no solar panels. I can put a solar panel in. I mean, I'm just saying to improve on it. Yeah, to just improve and add few more things.
I just want to add, as an engineer, what I can do to improve sustainability, right? I'll give an example. Recently, we were discussing. So we write services, everyone understands web services and systems and services, right? So people write code, okay? Now, to run the code, you require, for our scale, we require, let's say, 100 servers or 200 servers to execute it. Made a small line of code change, right? Which kind of reduced the amount of server requirement from 100 to 50, right? By just making that, and that did not have any impact on the functionality or the output of the system, right? It still worked, it still performed, right? But as an engineer, if you go and optimize a little bit, if you start becoming a little bit efficient, right? If you think about, that's why I say that have environment in the background. If you think about a little bit of efficiency, even 10%, right? It has a huge impact. Reducing number of servers reduces electricity usage, it reduces the demand of the servers which has to be produced. Sure, there can be business impact, but business will find something else. But I'm just saying, just keeping that in mind, right? Being a little bit more efficient in your thought process and your thinking of what you're building, what you're writing, has a significant impact on the environment, right? It's like boon boon se aage badhta hai, right? So the same thing applies over here also.
When you go out of the room, and that's practically what everything lies. Very good example about writing an efficient code is because see, it's not only at the time of writing, it's about executing it for the next 10 years. If nobody is coming and repairing this, it's a complete waste. And as you say, probably AWS or some other server is sitting in some part of the world, and they are anyways burning oil just because some huge number of resources started writing bad codes basically. So.
Like AWS and GCPs have started now giving, so all the cloud providers have started giving, they're going to soon emit metrics which say that how much of carbon this particular execution of this particular resource is consuming. Just bringing that, like technology, using technology to bring that to you will make you accountable, right? Like today what is it is hidden behind the companies, large people who are in finances, someone is doing that, right? But when you will see that, probably this will start improving as well.
That they ask you to go dark screen because your carbon footprint is less. How many of you have read it also? Because it's not that sense is what we were talking actually. It's a part of you. It's not some company's problem. Yeah, because we formed that company. For example, like what you said, Salesforce has a thumb rule. If you don't clear that code by 90%, it can't be published. So they have inbuilt mechanisms to do it, but it's a huge process. We spoiled it in 30 years. We have to recoup it by 300 years probably.
Sir, would you like to add something to these points?
Sustainability, like in human life, I would like to add. If you see during independence, the life expectancy rate is around for a human is around 35 to 40 years, 40 max you can tell. So now it is some around 65 to 70 it is. So like technology has played very important role in this sustainability of human life, I can say. So and one more, like if you see in medical field, the recently like artificial intelligence, it is giving an alert uh, in near future, like estimated time you can get a heart attack or something like that. So which you can go and diagnose it before it is getting like whatever you are going to happen a disease. So that's why technology plays it is playing a very important role in the sustainability of human life.
That was very much needed, these valuable insights. I personally learned a lot, and I hope it was a very great learning experience for you all as well. With this, we come to the end of this panel discussion. Thank you so much, sir.
Technological innovation is complex and rapidly changing field, but it is also one of the most important and exciting things happening in the world today. I hope this panel discussion has given you a better understanding of the latest trends and developments, as well as challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Moving forward, we have a Q&A session. The floor is open to the audience to raise their queries and get them answered by our panelists present here today.
Kindly raise your hand if you have any questions. A volunteer will come to you with the mic.
Good morning, speakers and respected panelists. I am Mohit and I have two questions. Will we ever be able to find a particular substance that is ever going to be 100% sustainable towards us? Or we'll have to keep innovating till we attain 100% sustainability? That is my first question.
What do you mean by find one substance?
Like a machine or a vehicle.
I don't think there's one thing which can achieve sustainability. I believe.
In what area? For example, you said machine.
Yeah, like servers. Because I heard that AIs are becoming the biggest consumers of water. Because one server would
AI
require
is becoming?
the biggest consumer of water more than other machines, because one server would require 100 million liters of water to cool its machines.
So, do you know how many liters we require to build a car?
More than 30
30 liters.
30 million.
So, if we start taking information, see, I know you went to Google, read this, understood that, okay, there is a couple of million liters of water which is required to make a server. Same thing is happening in Sri Perumbudur, same thing is happening in this road. Ford is there, Hyundai is there, everybody is there. Even to manufacture anything, you will go through this process of losing natural wealth. Now, sustainability is to ensure that how you reduce it or you don't use it at all. Okay. So we were using natural resources. One day we understood, okay, we can run in diesel and petrol. Then we understood we can run in gas. Then we understood we can run in solar. It's a process. That doesn't mean that we have reached sustainability. Now it is electric. We don't have to be bothered about it. Now the source goes back. Where are you consuming your electricity from? There is some guy burning coal or some machine which is running over there with some kind of. No, I'm saying to charge your lithium batteries, you still have electricity. To make that electricity zero, now you have to go back and say, no, I'll put solar panels so electricity will be zero. It won't become again solar manufacturing is also, so there will be no zero, I have to spend zero on this model. It will never happen actually. The only thing is Nataraja service. Then only you can be zero emission in I'm talking about transportation. Okay. The same thing in others also. In any other industry, today if you don't want to spend on servers, today you're talking about AWS and you said that there's an AI server which eats a lot of money. 30 years back or 20 years back when cloud was not prevalent, every Tom, Dick and Harry used to have a server. That was more mind-boggling. Okay, today it's like a rented apartment. I don't have to buy the whole building. I just take one source of it, use it for how much ever I want, only pay for that. It's far more better than 50,000 people having servers and everybody trying to run it actually. So to answer your question from my side at least, sustainability is also a process. Once we understand that we are doing a mistake here, we will evolve into a next segment, thinking that okay, we can make that better actually. So it's a process.
Yeah. Like, to answer the point whether we'll reach 100% sustainability, I don't know, to be honest. I don't think anyone knows over here, right? We are all moving in the direction. Either we will become sustainable or we will perish. Very simply, right? At some point the resources which are available on earth are finite. You will either we will perish or we will innovate and we'll figure out a way to sustain. But there will not be a single system or systems which can do sustainability. It has to be a set of things, it has to be the way we think, it has to be technology and everything, right?
Right. Yeah. So you mean we have to either swim together or sink together?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry. Can you repeat your statement? I misheard it.
Either we have to all swim together or sink together.
Why do I have to swim with you? It's your choice. So I'm saying no. I have a personal choice. I carry water everywhere. That's my personal choice. I can't say tomorrow nobody should use water bottle. Everybody swim with me. Take your own water bottles. That's not a choice. We are in a generation where even a 3-year-old kid knows or decides what to eat, drink, and wear. Okay, in my generation, forget it. You don't have an option. Whatever you had, you had to wear it. But today we are in this scenario. So why should I swim or sink with you? I will look or take care. See, I know that every individual has to put that effort to reach that sustainability as a model. No few people can decide that. The mentality should be there actually. So from your angle, your mentality should be there. I won't be a reason to spoil the sustainability. See, you said water as a point. I'm just giving, because you told that, I'm taking that as an example. Any lake, any water body which was there in any part of the world, forget India itself, California, any part of the world, if you take that 30-year, 50-year-old small GIF and see, you will see it, everything shrinking down into one point. So that's not only about because servers came in or because cars came in or because it's a conglomerate of too many things. So a guy staying in the forest who has not even seen what a car is or not even worn a dress or not even seen what a laptop is, why is he going to swim with you? He has nothing to do with this. His model of life is different completely over there. It's just the awareness what we are saying actually. If you all have that mentality that you can also create a change or don't want to be a part of that damage, that mentality is what we are saying. Why he said we'll all be finding the solution or perish, I stick on to the second part of it. We'll either perish before we find that solution, because it's not a one person answer or a few groups answer. It's a full the human race has to talk about it. So it's a far off deal. My suggestion is don't burst your brains on that actually. It's an evolution process. You will see it actually. Be a part of the solution, than thinking that if the solution doesn't come, everybody will fail.
And my second question, I'm a BTech AI student, but I study a lot of subjects that are other than AI, ML or DS. So how do I try to enrich myself with these three skills while trying to keep up with the courses in my college degree?
Not an AI ML expert, but say all the other subjects are equally valuable at some point in the future. Like he said, right? Mechanical engineering doesn't operate in isolation. It works in coordination with computers and electricals and electronics, right? So similarly, as you will grow in your career, you realize that all the other subjects are equally valuable. How to grow your skills further? I believe, I don't have a definite, I'm sorry, I'm bad at career